This country is one, is united, and by the grace of God will continue to be united. Look, one thing with this president, and the National Secretary has said a bit of that, is that you can't intimidate Buhari. You can't bully him. A lot of these people who are calling for secessions, they're the problem of this country. And I'm happy that reasonable opinion is now reasonable voices are now rising. Is it not only yesterday we were reading Afenifere saying we're not the most credible faction of Afenifere. We are not for secession. Ohaneze Ndibo has said this over and over again. So this thing about secession is, they had used it in the past. You cry secession and break off of Nigeria, and then you intimidate the city leader. And then he opens the vault and he brings money to settle people. President Buhari will pay no one. He's not going to pay. And now it is clear that having ignored all of that, reasonable opinions are coming from those states and from those regions. The governors in the Southwest, we have all heard them. They have denounced all of these things. So it's a sham. Nigerians want to be one, they want to continue. Yes, there are problems, and we are hoping that as people united and loving of one another, we'll come together and solve our own problems. And that leads me to the next question, which is no, it's still part of his earlier question, whether there should be a national conference. And what national conference do you want more than a parliament? Any Democrat, anyone who is a Democrat in heart, in his heart, in her heart, in practice, in their beliefs, they should believe in the tripartite structure of governments that are democratic. There must be a parliament, executive arm of the government, and the judiciary, each one being independent and cooperating with the other. We have an elected parliament which mandate is to be the custodian of the sovereignty of the Nigerian people. Look, a lot of these people who are crying for this secession, they are unelectable. If you think you are electable, go around for a parliamentary seat, whether House of Reps or Senate, and come and table an amendment for the Constitution. The process is ongoing as we speak now. Under DSP, the Deputy Senate President, they are calling for memoranda. Why can't you present what you want? So the issue is that people who are not Democrats want a parallel parliament to be set up. And this Constitution does not recognize two parliaments in this country. We have one parliament that is sovereign, that retains, is the custodian of the sovereignty of the Nigerian people. And believe then in periodic elections. If your member representing you has failed to present this request that you want, for whether it is a change of structure at state, local government, or national level, pull him out. 4 years after, don't vote for him. Put another rep who will do what you want. This is how democracy works, periodic elections. Now, this thing about security, that no day passes without media reporting killings. And it is tragic. Nobody is happy that deaths are being recorded. But the point I want to make is that it is in human nature. We don't know any country in the world today that is crime-free. I was going to, when the question was being raised, I was going to my WhatsApp messaging. An interesting conversation recently was around the publication of a new Nigerian newspaper. Tuesday, November 16, 1966. And on the front page of this newspaper, there's a story saying, Midwest police rescue 10 kidnapped men, 1966 in November. If you open the press today, and some people are reporting kidnapping, you will think that this is a first-time crime in the country. That is not. I'm not saying it is welcome. Please, I shouldn't be misunderstood. Even in the United States of America, I said 2 days ago, people were shot and killed. 8 of them for no reason. So we have problems with infiltration by unauthorized weapons. This is why President Buhari ordered that anyone caught with AK-47 that is not a law enforcement agent, is not authorized, that person should be shot if they don't surrender that weapon. We know where it is all coming. I'm not going into the history, all of the things that are happening in the Sahel and Libya, uncontrolled and ungoverned spaces around us, and the terrorists being recruited from our own people and the people from far and distant places, including those that were displaced in Iraq and Syria and Libya. So it's a big challenge. Let us cooperate with law enforcement in the country and to curtail these things. And a lot of the times, and I've said this a number of places, we also have bad eggs in our own communities who reveal the secrets of our military. They had this one in Katsina, and I've said it before. A tea seller near the airport, when they moved the aircraft to Katsina airport to operate against bandits in Zamfara state, this man that sold tea near the airport, the sponsor of the bandits hired him, built a house for him, bought him a car, golf car, and gave him money to do bigger tea business. Each time an aircraft took off from Katsina airport to go and operate in Zamfara, he will call them on phone and say they are coming. By the time they get there, the targets have disappeared. So there are bad people in our communities. What are we doing as citizens to rid ourselves of informants? Because the military people, they are as human as we are. They have blood running in their veins. So Nigerians will sleep with their 2 eyes open, and they give a chance to the ongoing exercises that are going on in the country. And the thing about law enforcement, and it's like journalism also. Every day you do good story, you don't hear anything. The day you publish a bad story, MD, everybody, editor is looking for your head. That's the way it happens. So our law enforcement agencies, you can see steadily, I think that we are beginning to, I'm not saying that it is time to record that there is success. No, but we are getting there. We are building up to success in all of these operations. And look at what is happening in Benue lately, following the killing of the military men. A whole governor presenting himself there and saying, I apologize for the killings of these people. It tells you that people are beginning to say, look, we are all in this together. And we just have to work together to rid this country of these elements. Pantami, can you please excuse me because I've not been briefed. You want government position on this Pantami issue. I've not been briefed about it. I have my personal views about it, but I cannot disclose my personal, because I'm entitled to hold my personal opinion. Yes, sir. Now, the thing about Southeast is part of the earlier conversation we just had now. Criminals are fighting to gain the upper hand, but I tell you that no criminal or terrorist is bigger than this country. None of them is mightier than our armed forces. This structure has been there. They were certificated and praised for World War I, World War II. They stabilized the entire West Africa region. Without Nigeria, would there be Liberia in its present form? Would there be Sierra Leone in its present, or even Gambia? So just give it time and support and prayers. We will win against these forces. Thank you very much.